After the destruction of the Umbrella training facility and the horrors she witnessed there, Rebecca Chambers made her way through the forest alone, exhausted, injured, and with almost no resources left. Drawn by the only structure in sight, she eventually reached the Spencer mansion, unaware that the nightmare was only beginning. When Chris Redfield and Jill Valentine stepped through the front doors of the Spencer mansion, they unknowingly entered a nightmare that had been decades in the making. Just one day earlier, the Raccoon City Police Department had lost contact with Bravo team during an investigation in the Arklay Mountains. With no answers and rising concern, the elite S.T.A.R.S. Alpha team was sent in to locate them and uncover what had gone wrong. However, the mission quickly spiraled out of control. Shortly after arriving in the forest, Alpha team discovered the mutilated remains of Bravo team's helicopter pilot, Kevin Dooley. Before they could even begin to process the situation, they were suddenly attacked by a pack of mutated dogs known as Cerberus, once ordinary animals, now transformed into aggressive bioorganic weapons by a mysterious virus. In the chaos that followed, their own pilot, Brad Vickers, panicked and fled in the helicopter, abandoning the team in the middle of the wilderness. With no means of escape and the creatures closing in, Chris, Jill, Barry Burton, and their captain Albert Wesker were forced to retreat toward the only shelter in sight, a large, ominous mansion hidden deep within the forest. At first glance, the Spencer mansion appeared to be a place of refuge, but it quickly became clear that it was anything but safe. The interior was filled with locked doors, strange puzzles, and hidden mechanisms that seemed deliberately designed to slow them down. They were all part of a psychological experiment to gather data on combat effectiveness against BOWs. As the team split up to search for a way out, they began uncovering scattered documents and research notes that revealed the horrifying truth. The mansion was not just a residence. It was part of a secret Umbrella Corporation research facility built by Oswell E. Spencer. Beneath its surface lay laboratories where illegal experiments had been conducted using the T-virus, a pathogen capable of reanimating the dead and mutating living organisms into deadly creatures. The outbreak that had consumed the facility was not a random accident, but the result of failed containment and internal betrayal. The scientists had become the test subjects. The zombies shambling through the halls were their former colleagues. The staff working in the labs had become the first victims of the virus. As Chris and Jill explored further, they encountered increasingly dangerous threats, including hunters, fast and intelligent creatures engineered specifically for combat, and the monstrous plant 42, a giant organism that had fused with the mansion's guardhouse after feeding on contaminated water. During their search, they eventually came across Enrico Marini, the captain of Bravo team. He revealed that he had discovered a traitor within S.T.A.R.S., someone who had orchestrated the entire situation from within. However, before he could reveal the identity of the betrayer, he was suddenly shot and killed, silenced before the truth could come out.
Traitor? Who?
As the survivors pressed on, Barry Burton's behavior became increasingly suspicious. It was later revealed that he had been acting under duress, as Albert Wesker had threatened his family in order to force him into cooperation. This manipulation added another layer of tension within the already fractured team. In a small cabin hidden behind the mansion, the team uncovered one of the most disturbing stories tied to the facility, that of Lisa Trevor. Lisa was the daughter of George and Jessica Trevor, the very architect responsible for designing the Spencer mansion. After completing the construction, George Trevor and his family were invited to the estate by Oswell E. Spencer. But it was never meant to be a celebration. It was a trap. Spencer had George Trevor imprisoned within the mansion to ensure its secrets would never be revealed, ultimately leading to his death deep within the structure he helped create. Meanwhile, Lisa and her mother Jessica were taken and used as test subjects in Umbrella's early experiments with the progenitor virus. Jessica Trevor did not survive the testing. Lisa, however, did. Instead of dying, her body adapted in ways no one expected. Over the course of decades, she was subjected to continuous experimentation by researchers such as James Marcus and later William Birkin, who injected her with multiple viral strains, including early versions of what would later become the Nemesis parasite. Her body mutated beyond recognition, developing extreme regenerative abilities, while her mind slowly deteriorated. Despite everything, fragments of her humanity remained. Driven by a broken memory of her mother, Lisa wandered the estate endlessly, searching for her, calling out, clinging to the only piece of her past she had left. She was not just a monster created by Umbrella. She was a victim, one who had suffered for decades and simply could not die. Eventually, the remaining survivors made their way into the underground laboratory beneath the mansion, where the full truth was finally revealed. Albert Wesker was not the leader they believed him to be, but a double agent working for Umbrella. His mission had been to gather combat data on the Tyrant, a powerful bio-organic weapon, by using the S.T.A.R.S members as test subjects in a real combat scenario. Without hesitation, Wesker activated the Tyrant T-002, but the creature immediately turned on him, impaling him and leaving him for dead. With no leader and no escape, the survivors were forced into a final stand on the mansion's helipad. At the last possible moment, Brad Vickers returned. Dropping a rocket launcher from the helicopter, with one final shot, they destroyed the Tyrant, ending the nightmare. For now,